tell us a little bit about you and Cody.
Okay. Well, me and Cody was pretty much a surprise to both of us. It wasn't just you guys, we were surprised too.
Patrick Wang's film, In the Family, features a character named Joey Williams, a gay Asian-American parent living in Tennessee who fights to keep custody of his son after the sudden death of his partner. Wang is not only the actor, but also the writer and director of this role. And through these combined functions, he delivers a provocation in the guise of a portrayal. If one has never heard a person of Asian descent speak with a Southern drawl, it's a bit unsettling. There are plenty of Asian Americans that live in the American South, and in growing numbers, but there haven't been many, if any, depicted on the screen before. It's such a new experience that, maybe like me, you investigated Wang's background to see if he was really Southern. The authenticity of an identity, and our ability to detect it, becomes an underlying concern. In being made to judge, we are also made to reflect on what informs our judgment.
Yeah. Oh, Cody loved a lot of stuff. It was kind of contagious, you know. He saw good things in people.
And this plays perfectly into the hands of a movie for whom the issue of passing judgment is very much on its mind. Asian faces have long been a signpost of mystery and mistrust in American cinema. We can go as far back as Sessue Hayakawa as a devious sexual predator in The Cheat, made in 1915. Asian characters are more acceptable when they're less threatening, portrayed as comic caricatures. It's a dehumanizing trait that exists in Hollywood even today. In the Family plays with this long-standing perception of Asians as enigmatic, most notably by using a recurring visual motif of Joey seen from behind. In these shots, we can't see Joey's facial expressions. He is visually withheld from us, whether to create dramatic intrigue or to convey his character's emotional blankness in a state of grief. This technique also conveys a sense of how people project their thoughts and emotions upon him.
Welcome to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Mama, he knows what Thanksgiving is.
Welcome to our Thanksgiving.
Yes, let's all thank Joey for coming down from outer space for Thanksgiving.
It's okay.
But what's interesting about In the Family is that many of the white characters are depicted as equally, if not more, inscrutable.
What do you know? Finally get to meet face to face. Coach said a lot of great things about you. Not like you needed to. It's like our stomachs have known you for years.
Their performances are far more muted than what you find in most American films. At key points, they come off as cold, distant, whether due to bureaucratic insensitivity.
Eileen told me it was stable, but that was a little while ago. Do you know what's happening now?
Nurse Edwards will talk to you about that.
Okay.
Or personal distrust.
Come on, Eileen, I know you're in there. Open up! Jim. Hey, Jim.
Moreover, their chilly regard of Joey conveys his own perceptions of living in a perpetual state of being judged, of being shunned as a foreigner. In the film's climax, Joey tries to overcome the shunning judgment of his dead lover's family. The scene flips the stereotypical dynamic that has governed movie portrayals of Asians and whites for nearly 100 years. Now it's the Asian character who has to be expressive and emotive, while the white characters try to hold back their emotions.
Chip is such a good kid. There's going to be all sorts of people lined up to help him in his life. I won't be at the front of that line. All the time. I know Dave and Eileen are in that line too.
Joey's heartfelt confessional is the kind of payoff you expect of a family courtroom drama, which it delivers in spades. But I think there is also a critical countercurrent at work here. The sheer absurdity of having to account for one's life and forge an emotional bond with others through a legal deposition delivered in a sterile office surrounded by hostile witnesses. If this scene delivers empathy, it's a condensed, melodramatic kind of empathy. The kind that registers with people who don't have the patience or the willingness to find it outside of this unnatural setting. And it makes us question our own response to Joey's monologue, because for the 2.5 hours leading up to this scene, the film demonstrates an entirely opposite approach for how to really get to know and care about someone.
Mr. Moe just teaches kids to get back, and it's doing a good job.
Chip,
What?
Ms. Evans really said that.
Yeah.
At the store.
Yes, at the store. Mrs. Adams said it.
There's an early scene that lasts for over 2 minutes of Joey, his partner Cody, and their son Chip going about their morning routine in the kitchen.
No.
Base?
Yes, she said he's teaching them to be obese. He's doing a good job.
This kitchen setting gets reprised throughout the course of the film. And it becomes a marker for the narrative's steady progression through different stages of a family's turmoil. In these scenes, and many others, we're invited to get to know the characters simply by observing how they inhabit a space. And with the moment unfolding over an extended duration, uninterrupted by edits, we get to inhabit that space with them.
It was probably better we have a little time to cool off. Probably weird being in a room with us when we're both unhappy like that, yeah?
It's just weird being in a room with your daddy.
You don't say.
Weird, weird, weird.
Compare this to a film like Lincoln, a film that feels pretty slow-paced compared to most Hollywood dramas. Over the course of its 165-minute running time, In the Family has a total of 280 shots. Lincoln has 280 shots in just its first 50 minutes. Or compare In the Family to a stately European art film like Amour. The average length of each shot in Amour is 31.5 seconds. In the Family's average shot length is 36.3 seconds, almost 5 seconds longer than Amour. What this suggests is an uncommon insistence on immersing the viewer in an uninterrupted sense of space and time. We get to feel the characters simply by being with them. This is one of the hardest filmmaking feats to pull off, to sustain a moment over a length of time without it seeming gratuitous. To really feel the screen exuding a sense of environment, character, and feeling. And these qualities do come through in many scenes, including the film's longest and riskiest scene, a single take that stretches 9 minutes. It's a flashback where Joey tries to console Cody, who's mourning the loss of his wife. It's a key moment in both their lives, the moment when they first form an emotional bond.
I don't know what to do.
Joey is both present and absent in this scene. We never see his face. Instead, the shot holds on Cody from start to finish, as if seen from Joey's point of view. Joey is a spectator as much as we are.
I mean, that's natural.
What am I supposed to do?
Cody, you'll figure it out. Figure it out! Hey! Hey.
I just need to know what to do. I'm sorry. I just.
No, okay.
You're terrible at this.
Yeah, I am.
Cody rages in his grief, and Joey takes it all in, his voice gently guiding both of them to safety. It's a scene that plays out over an extended length of time because time is what's required to heal and bind these two together.
I've been there.
Brent, would you put up our next problem, please? Julie, you're on deck.
In one of the last scenes with Cody before his untimely death, we see him teaching math to his students. On the board reads the day's lesson. I will learn to simplify expressions involving absolute values.
Class, we see a problem like this, and our job is to
Simplify.
Very good. Thank you, Brent. Julie,
The absolute value of In the Family is empathy, the ability to truly know another human being. And through watching this film, we learn that the simplest, truest way to know someone is not through dramatic movie monologues or emotional displays. The simplest way is to just be there, watching and listening.
mixed with lies of wanderings. I know they're just little things, but they hurt me big time. And then I watch you walk, and I